Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, put the call ratio is really kind of in the dead middle right now. Thursday was like really high, and Friday's pop took all the shorts out, all the puts out, and brought it back in the middle. So there's really no weight on one side, so it's kind of in the middle right now. Nothing to look at, but every morning before the market opens, you should definitely look at the put the call ratio every morning. Make it part of your morning routine. Now, as far as the economic calendar, Monday we got core retail sales at 8:30. Get nothing Tuesday. Wednesday we get FOMC with Powell, so that will probably be expensive for SPX, and hopefully we'll get a move and not a bust. Every time Powell speaks, SPX is so expensive, and you have to play 150 point spread, and SPY moves $2 or $3, and it just doesn't go 100%. So it's kind of too much implied volatility versus Powell, non-Powell days where you can get at the money pretty cheap, and if it moves $1, it'll go 100% really easily. So hopefully we'll get some movement on FOMC. Maybe we'll get something that's shocking and spook the market or something. But Thursday we have unemployment claims at 8:30, and Friday we don't have anything. So now I'm not really looking at too much right now. I mean, Friday we had a bounce on SPY. Every time we get a bounce, it gets crapped on. I mean, it bounces here, drops, bounce, drop, bounce, drop, bounce, drop, bounce, drops. Now it's bounced. Looks like it's about ready to break out of the trend. We get like a little bit of a channel right here. It kind of looks like it broke out of it. But usually when we have a short squeeze out of SPY, it's a couple days. So we'll have to see if we get another green strong day tomorrow, which is Monday. Right now the futures is gapped up, so it's looking that way, but by the time market opens we could be gapped down and dropped. So we'll have to wait and see what it looks like at open. So, but if it does manage to get over this 565 area, it's probably going to push to 570, 575, even 580. But right now, the pops have been getting clobbered on. Like right here, strong Friday. I mean, these green days, I think that's a Friday too. Yeah, strong green Friday. Monday gaps up, gets hammered on. Green Friday right here. A gap down, just gets hammered on green Friday. So we've been having red weeks and green Fridays. So we'll have to see if that trend continues. Until it doesn't, I mean, it looks like it was going to break the trend right here, and it didn't. So we're right at that level right here, and we gapped up above it right now. But we'll have to see what it looks like in the morning. So like I said, we already called the areas of 590 could be a something that it could gravitate towards throughout the week if we have a couple more than one day short squeeze and stuff like that before we come back down here, if we even do. So I would think that we would flush through 550 again, because everyone is pretty much calling bottom on Twitter and StockTwits and all these fake gurus. They're pretty much calling bottom, which they could be right, but usually when too many people things are too obvious, they like to come down and take out stops. So I'm thinking that maybe we gap up a little bit. Do we come down maybe tomorrow or Tuesday and we flush through 550, probably violently, probably to 545, take out stops before we actually reverse. And that usually ends up happening. So like right here, it dropped, came back up, started to reverse, and it came back down and took out the stops, and came back up, took out stops here again before it actually came back to all-time high. And right here it dropped, started to rebound, it came out, took out the stops right there. So it does love to fish for stops before actually having a nice little rally. So we'll have to see if that actually happens. If it does manage to get underneath 560, obviously 555, 550 is going to be the big number. I think we get under 550. We could see a violent flush to 545, even maybe 540 if that ends up happening. So we'll watch it on both sides. You're going to need to be in the room for that. Now VIX is up pretty high right now. I mean, it closed red on Friday, and actually closed. Yeah, it's been closing red the last few days, 4 days. I mean, it's not. We had SPY was, yeah. So VIX was red Tuesday through Friday, but SPY wasn't. I kind of think that's kind of odd. Yeah. See. Yeah. Yeah. VIX has been dropping, but anyways, VIX has got room to drop. It's got plenty of room down to 20, and the floor right now seems to be right at that 15 level. So a strong day or two, VIX could get. I mean, even if we don't, we don't pop hard, or we can grind sideways until FOMC, and that will be enough to drop VIX down to 16 or 15. I mean, all we need to do is stick at a $2 or $3 channel and just arrange and just keep SPY in a tight range, and VIX will grind down right down to 15. I've seen it do that many times. I definitely could do that again on VIX. So definitely keep an eye on VIX to get clever. Tesla's RSI is so low. We had a little bit of a relief bounce on Friday. Wednesday to Friday. RSI was down below what, 20? It was down to 20 on the weekly. I mean, you can see right here on the hourly, not the weekly, daily, sorry. I would watch Tesla over 250, 251, push to 260, 270, 280. I mean, if it breaks out of this little area right here, 251, we could have a strong candle out of Tesla. So Tesla could have a violent move if we pop up. So hopefully its SPY won't gap up, or at least it will come back down in the morning. It's that way Tesla doesn't have a major gap up, then chasing gap ups. I hate chasing those big gap ups because it just ends up fading. But yeah, Tesla is definitely setting up for a big move. Tesla probably one of the major ones I'd keep an eye on this week. And Apple, don't really like trading Apple, but Apple did have its head and shoulders did play out that I was calling for. There was another one too. I think it was Microsoft or something. I don't remember. But down to the 208 level was this low inside candle right here. I'm thinking, if SPY does manage to get some traction, that I would watch Apple over 214 for push to 215, 220, 225, 230. Apple's got some room. I mean, the RSI was below 30 on Friday. It's got some room to have a nice little dead cat bounce. Well, depending how far it wants to go. I mean, if it even goes. I mean, if SPY does manage to sell off, that SPY ends up dumping more, we could definitely see Apple dump down to 200. So, yeah, 200 is going to be a big area because you got resistance here and you got support here. So that's a major trend line at 200, and being around a big, massive psychological number, that can be an area to watch too if it does manage to drop more. Meta is another one. Meta, if it does manage to, Meta's still in a channel right here. I can still draw that channel and still in it, but if it does manage to get underneath it, I would even say under 600. It gets under 600. That I'd watch it under 590. Gets under 590. We could see 580, 575, 560, 565 pretty fast. So I'd say that it needs some pretty big volume to get underneath 585. But if it does, 575 is definitely the next big area to watch. So Meta, definitely could watch for that. But I mean, if it does manage to take off, and SPY does bounce, we have a strong market, then I'd probably watch it over 610 for push to 615, 620, 625, 630, basically every $5 on Meta. So last one's Microsoft. Microsoft was the other head and shoulders I was talking about right up here. Now I managed to get through 400 pretty easily, but we had a strong green day on Friday, and we had a couple inside candles before it popped. So when it did get over 385, it popped. So I would watch it over 390 to 395 to 400, 405, 410, 415, 420. Definitely could see a pretty significant pop on that. So Microsoft, when it does decide to run, we could have a strong bounce. But for some reason, if the market is weak, and Friday was just a day to cool off the RSIs and the take out the put holders and cool down the put to call ratio, that I would watch underneath 385 or push down to 380, 375 would be the next area. And if it breaks 375, I mean, it's got what, 365, then 350 would be the next big level on Microsoft. So going to be an interesting week. We'll have to see what ends up happening. Usually with FOMC, the thing that usually happens is if Monday and Tuesday we have strong green days, the FOMC will probably be a drop. Now, if we're red Monday and Tuesday, FOMC could be a pop. That's been the trend lately. We'll have to see if that actually stays to that. So it doesn't mean if you see a red day Monday and Tuesday go buy calls for FOMC and it's going to work, because nothing is ever 100%. Nothing is ever going to be a guarantee. So don't be foolish and just think that everything has to work out like that, because it normally does. The market loves to rip people's faces off, catch people off guard. When everyone's on one side, it does the opposite. So definitely keep an open mind, and we'll just have to see how the week goes. So you need to be in the room to see what's going to happen, and that's going to do it. And thanks for watching.